Brighton. Let's meet our referees first of all. Head referee Jonathan Kiplox. Referees are Bradley Edwards, Shane Abbott, and chief bench official is Michael Goody, bench manager Robert Farmer, our assessor Dennis Mulrooney. And now the Brighton Bombers. Number 1, Mitch Fuss. Number 2, Nick Wells. Number 3, Angus Cook. Number 4, Tony Raymond. Number 7, Kevin Locke. Number 8, Clint Barker. Number 9, Aaron Lim. Number 11, Nat Rowe. Number 13, Jack Rosenthal. Number 14, Cody Rosenthal. Number 15, Douglas Brooks. Number 16, Angus Higgins. Number 17, Jack Woodford. Number 19, Lee Barron. Number 20, Matt Brigham.
Third string, mate.
Number 24, Brighton Cricket. Head coach is
Third string.
Assistant coach, Jack Dollison. Manager, Todd Rosenthal. Assistant manager, Paul Shannon. And scorer is Trevor Wolford. And now, their opponents tonight, the Burnside Bears. Number 2, Adam Phillips. Number 5, Scott Dawson. Number 6, Chris Nicola. Number 7, Paul Marshall. Number 8, Kieran Sando. Number 9, James Mullins. Number 10, James Goodrich. Number 16, Josh Harris. Number 19, Colin
Pin.
Raviglia. Number 21,
Oh, what the fuck are you doing, mate?
Number 23, Lee Hood. Number 25, Cam Taylor. Number 30, Steve Lambert. Number 31, Number 77, Brett Williams. Number 87, Raf O'Connor. Assistant head coach Rick Smith and assistant coaches Cam Leach and Henry Giannis.
Is that what we're working off?
Please join the players, referees and coaches as we stand.
They dropped that that American with the red helmet.
All right, so the big dance is upon us here at the beautiful Cooper Stadium in the Living Choice Grand Final between Brighton and Burnside, and I'm joined in commentary tonight by Mr. Australian player, Mr. Ryan Gaspari, and Mr. Craig Shiger. We're about to go down to the coin toss. Who wins the coin toss?
Well, I think it looks like Graham Hobbs is about to flick it, so I reckon he's going to throw ahead.
Going heads?
Heads, well, I'll go tails.
All right, we head down to the ground.
Who got that, Tone? Who got the win
Looks
there?
like Brighton has, Burnside has the win there. Cam has the first win of the night by the look of it. We'll just confirm that, but Burnside will be shooting to the right of us, so they're down to the Nord Parade end as the rain just starts to come across the ground here at the start of. Is that going to be a factor this evening?
Yeah, let it pour. Let it pour. Let the opens heaven up. Let the
Heavens open up.
That's what we're trying to say.
I think you're right. You got it on the head, mate.
Yep.
Knocked it on the head. So, yeah, obviously Burnside without a grand final win at State League level, going for their first ever State League premiership. And Brighton have been here for the last,
not last year.
Not last year, but they've been around for about 12 years in this situation, so plenty of experience.
On and off the last 12 years. They've certainly been the most dominant club in the SA. So somebody is screaming out to take over that mantle piece. Brighton hanging on, clawing on, Tone, clawing on. Have they got enough tonight, Ryan? What do you reckon?
I don't think so, mate. I think the Bears, they're going to be the new leaders.
Pretty well organised last week.
I think so, mate. That outfit I seen on the first finals there against your mob.
Against Brighton.
Sorry, yes, it was Brighton, and I was down at your ground.
Yeah, they were good. They were good. They were disciplined. They were determined.
They were organised all over the
correct.
field, both ends of the. It was unreal. They just played as a team. The older fellas stepped up, and the younger ones caught on as well. So
I agree.
And obviously there was a bit of not controversy, but on the Burnside side tonight. Cam Leach, who got plenty of the ball down in that first semi-final, is not playing for Burnside, number 4.
Yeah, huge.
And
is he still in the state? Is he still here?
He is. He certainly is. But they've got three. They've got 3 imports. So Lucas stays in, number 21, and Cole comes in for Cam. So
there's always a hard luck story.
And he may be the one tonight because he was exceptional down in that first semi-final.
But this is the real story, Tone, off the X here tonight.
Yes,
yeah, look,
big matchup.
Jack Woodford has been dominant throughout the year, and on cue, Jack Woodford gets a first. That's a push with possession, and we're going to be into a man-up situation for 30 seconds straight away.
Abbott and Costello taking no time to get into the game with a huge bit of airtime with the flag.
He likes getting in the game early, Mr. Shane Golden Goal Abbott.
Don't leave me behind, he says. I'm involved in this game as much as any one of you boys.
So Brighton, a huge opportunity here at the start of the first quarter in a man-up situation with less than 5 seconds gone of the game. And if they can get one on the board here early, not the way Burnside would have expected this to start, given the way they played last time.
Yeah, little 3-man rotation. Otherwise, Lee runs to the X and pops out in the back 45 like they are now. X-man.
Oh, good
throws it away. That's come off.
That was off Joshy Harris.
No, he's... Lee Perham is saying that's come off Josh Harris, but Josh Harris is just...
That's what it looked like from up here.
It's that cricket one where you just nick it, isn't it?
That's right.
I didn't see anything.
You make the decision, umpire. You make the decision.
And a couple of shout-outs here early on the live feed. We've got Tony Hill says, AFL, cricket and lax. Pretty good sports night, he says. So obviously he's got it on the 75-inch at home, just flicking it through.
Let's find ourselves a Steve Orr here tonight, a Steve Smith here tonight.
And Damien Stringer says, what ground is this being played on? It is the beautiful Norwood Oval, Cooper Stadium. And we've played the grand finals here now for the last 3 years.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Mr. Stringer.
So there it is. Daniel Elson says, good luck, boys, for a great call. Well, thank you, Daniel, as Chucky comes down the side and Burnside will find themselves in. And Sam Kilford says, here we go, boys. Rhino, don't say too much tonight.
Oh, thanks, Sammy. Hope you found your gear, mate.
So, obviously, the boys are off tomorrow, Ryan.
Yeah, most of the boys are leaving tomorrow. So
off to the world. So we wish you all the best for that, as we do wish the 2 teams here all the best for this evening. Burnside in a really wide set. And there we go. Lucas, Jimmy Goodridge steps inside. Lucas was pivotal in that first semi-final win over Brighton. And we see Liam Hood here, just on Jack Woodford.
Is that all right?
And Lucas going again. Toby Raymond, the old that one's going to go out of bounds. That will come straight out of a Burnside stick. So just trying to force it a little, and
hot
which
pass.
which team's going to settle here?
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes, isn't
First.
it, Tony? It's usually whatever team settles first tend to come up on top at the end of the day.
So Peter Greenhouse says, "Whoa, Tony, look out! Craig is going for my job."
Yeah, well, I've got some gear to sell, so if anybody's after some lacrosse equipment. No, Pete, you're okay there. Don't worry about any jobs that I'm looking for. I'm okay.
So, and Damien Stringer says, "Thanks, guys, watching from Victoria." So,
Beautiful.
looking forward to a big game. And Sammy Kilford says it's on its way there, Ryan. So, as it is, this game is on its way. You see Rosenthal, Jake Rosenthal, that is, just kicks it up here to Liberace. Those gold boots shining on the beautiful Cooper Stadium this evening.
Yep, the Hair Bear defending him.
And kicks it over to Perham. He's been pivotal in Brighton's season this year, just as this man has, Evan Locke with the shiny helmet.
Yeah, I reckon that's a good matchup there, Evan Locke with James Mullins.
It'll certainly, with James obviously going away for the Australian box team,
C3PO.
that will be a that'll be a good matchup out there for him as a warm-up.
Bogger throws a little weak flag, but it still went up a little bit of air. The overload here. Brigham.
There's a yard sail.
Great check.
Yard sail down to the northern end of Cooper Stadium. But we're going to have a flag here. And Bogger's throwing his first. Nigel Wapper says, "Hey, Sammy Kilford." Shout out to you, Nige. Peter Whitcomb says, "Expecting some Brian Taylor-esque comments from Shicks."
Yeah, well, give me a minute or two. Let me get into the groove of things here.
So, and Sammy Kilford says, "Chippy with no long sleeves. Power move. Big factor." He likes that. Brought the muscles out. Sun's out. Guns out.
Guns out, guns out. That's it.
So let's see Brighton man up 3-3. Burnside rotating pretty well. I'd expect a little high rotation. Top three guys here.
So second man up of the game. The last one was shut down. Perham threw the ball out of bounds to that one coming on the bottom corner.
Perham to the crease. Brooks to cover across. Pop out behind X.
Double rotation coming out the back here. Looks up the top.
Brigham.
Bang. Brigham. He's got a cannon when he's able to let it go. And he's done that a couple of times tonight or through the final series. Let a couple of rippers go.
A couple of rockets go the other week.
So ball down the back here with Lynn.
Again.
Lynn, Brigham.
Ooh.
Oh, that's going to kill someone in the bar down there if there's anyone standing there. I wouldn't think there is, though. This stand's pretty full down here at Cooper Stadium.
Chock-a-block and they're even again. Penalties off.
So, again, two opportunities. Limited opportunities in big games or any game. As Perrin goes around his work with Adam Phillips. Moves the ball on here to Brooks. Brooks had probably his best game of that I've probably ever seen him play, as that one's been knocked down by Scotty Dawson. Ball's flicked out the back there, and that's going to go out of bounds off the stick of Rosenthal, and we'll have Burnside come into another offensive set, just throwing punches left, right and centre here. Not literally.
Feeling out process there. Probably didn't need to go for that ball there at goal line or the end line there, or it could have gone out. Brighton repossession.
As Lucas picks the ball over to Adam Phillips, who managed to get that interception, or knockdown at least. Just kicks it back there to Cam Semler, and Brady Williams will go about his job. Obviously the goalkeepers, both goalkeepers here, have a really big job to do tonight for their respective teams.
Yeah, Brady Williams played an absolute brick wall in the first game of the finals there. Chippy also done well last week.
Oh, there we go. There's something you don't see very often from Chris Nicola. As we see there from Lee Perham. And the ball's being chased there by Steve Lambert. Good work from Lambert. So Lee Perham with the ball just takes it out to settle, and Brighton will have another opportunity.
Huge influence tonight, Lee Perham. If he can get on top of his defender, Cam Semler, he'll bring a lot of the Brighton youth into the game.
Good check. There's one coming from behind here. Perham, that's a dive. And Chris Nicola making up for that one. He's just thrown away.
Good look.
Kicks it down the bottom. Oh, one worn, and that flag is going to be thrown, and there we go, Mr. Jono Kiplocks. One straight across the noggin. He's going to get a slash there, and Brian Pridham will find himself in the box for a 1-minute penalty.
That was just a bit of a warm-up for Sandow for the Worlds.
I was going to say, given the fact of what we saw in the women's game, plenty let go, and these guys have got helmets on. I would think that there will be a fair bit.
Let the boys play.
Let the boys play. We like that, Ryan, don't we?
We do like it. Or Rubbin's racing.
Rubbin is racing.
Trademarked. T. Watts.
And Liam Hood, he was really good in that first game too. down at in that first semi against Brighton in this rematch of the first semi.
1 4-man up. Pop out from
Pops
Burnside.
out, looking down the
Overlap on
bottom.
bottom corner.
Looks over the other side.
Here's
Hood. Bang! Hood is on the board first. And Burnside have the first. And their crowd is up and about to the left of us. Plenty of support here for the Burnside Bears as Liam Hood, we see here on the Living Choice instant replay, finds it across crease. Nice easy one there.
Bare naked ladies on the back.
And we're back to the centre here, and obviously Jack Woodford winning the first. We're into the second. We're into the second now, and Jack Woodford 2 from 2.
Yep. Looks like a big day coming up for Jack Woodford today, I reckon.
Speaking of Jacks, Jack Apolsky says Perham still playing, might have to come out of retirement. There you go, Jack Apolsky. Shix just shakes his head there, Jack. He says, not a chance. So ball up the top here, gives it to Fuss. Fuss over to Perham. And who's going to be that spark here for the Brighton Bombers tonight that's going to really ignite them?
I think it's going to have to come right across the board, Tone. I think the youth of this team, Arlen Lim, I think Mitch Fuss, I think Doug Brooks, I think Nat Rowe, all these guys, Cody Rosenthal, they're all going to have to step up and play a part. Lee Perham's going to have to guide those boys through this.
And Jakey Rosenthal, he's instrumental. Oh, nice inside roll. That one just kicked. There we go. And Eben Locke, he's been a solid player in offense for the last couple of games since he's come back from injury.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we see here on the Living Choice instant replay.
Just picking up the crumbs.
A little bit of scrap man. Oh, hello. You like them.
That's Tony's bread and butter, those
and
ones.
You start to think that you know it's going to go all right when they fall in your stick.
Oh, thank you very much.
So 1-1 here, about 10 minutes gone in the first at the beautiful Cooper Stadium for our Living Choice grand final between Brighton and Burnside. And also a big shout out to Traditional Group for verandas, carports, roofing and guttering. They'll look after you as well as both teams go about their build here. You can go about your build, a legal procedure. Kicking the ball, kicking the stick, sorry. Jono right on the spot. Good quality referee, Jono Kiplocks.
Best in the business.
He is an outstanding referee as judged by the Blue Division over in the last World Championships. And Brighton going about their work again. And you just saw then, though, Jake Rosenthal was pivotal in that first one. He just brings people into play. And again, gets around the side. Oh, good fire. Well, got to shut him down a bit. Yes. You can't let him feed, and you cannot let him get to those points.
So Lee Perham's been forced to play a little left hand this year, and he's drives a little left-handed. So he's the guy who needs to play left hand. So he's playing out of his comfort zone, filling the role of the left-hander, and the right-handed lads, the young kids, filling in the spots elsewhere.
Just doing that little two-man game. We've seen a few players, even in the early game, we've seen a few players lose their feet as some wood gets thrown here. Wouldn't expect anything less in a grand final replay. Chucky picking up the ball there, Chris Nicola. Oh, some wood there from Nick Wells. And Chucky just lost the ball. Yeah, let him play. It's what we want to see. Kieran Sandow going about his work as well.
Offside.
That's fine. Not offside at all. Poor call.
We've got an offside here, Josh Harris.
Poor call.
So
that's what we want. Mike Gowdy, let's name him, shame him.
Mike Gowdy,
poor decision.
Seen them go offside. Jake Rosenthal, this will be a huge one if they get a goal out of this.
That'll help next year.
The flag being thrown there.
And now a penalty.
And that's Cam Semler going to go to the bench.
So that all comes about a poor decision from the CBO.
Yeah, Josh Harris was very animated there, wasn't he?
Goal 20, goal 20, goal 20, come back here. Ready, ball's here with me.
You can hear Shane Abbott out there. He's mic'd up this evening as Cam. So they haven't done anything with their first two-man ups. They'll want to get one away here.
They'll change this time. They won't go through X this time. We'll see the creaseman, RLM, pop out in the 45. Be a little three-man rotation here. No, they're still going to stick with it.
Well, Burnside get that rotation going. If you could send the ball back the other way.
Brigham's just asking for it. He wants it.
Steps in Woodford. Bang, Woodford. That's probably the softest shot he's thrown in a long, long time. Got nothing on that. Perham looks inside. Again. Picks up Brigham. He's got a cannon. You cannot let him free his arms. And Burnside doing a good job in defence in shutting this down so far, but steps up the top. Brigham looks down the bottom. Ball being moved really well. Kicks down to Brooks. Brooks to Perham. Perham fires! That is rattling the cookie jar, that one.
Leaving a top pipe action.
Hello. That is an outstanding shot. We were sitting almost right behind that. We'll see on the instant replay here on our Living Choice replay. That had some heat in it. You see Perham just get off the side here, able to free his arms. Not much there. And Brett Williams didn't see anything of that one, boys.
Probably looking to pass, wasn't he? But the old boy thought, hang on a minute, Burnside, I'm not done just yet.
So Jackie may have heard your calls out there. That maybe why you're still playing, but that's why he's still playing. He's had an outstanding year this year. And Jack Woodford, that's probably the only way he's going to lose Senate tonight. I mean, he ate up that first semi-final, and then Lewis Dow got on top of him late when he was tired because he ran up and down the field all night. But Jack Woodford has been in outstanding form this year.
It has been very good. But it proves to be a good battle tonight, Tony. It'll be decisive come the second half. Now, what number we got the second import for Burnside?
Number 19.
Number 19.
19. That's Cale, as he just on cue there, gets the ball for you, Schick, so you can have a good look at him. Lefty. He's a lefty. He seems to, said he got 6 against Sturt when we played him, and he doesn't mind throwing that right hand out, and occasionally looked like he was in a warding position, but ball to be won, and Brighton really hot on the ground balls here. Old man Toby Raymond, Dad, he's under pressure, but comes up big. The pressure from Burnside there, outstanding, but Nick Wells kicks it over here, and they're on here. Jack Woodford. Oh, that could hurt. There's one on the bottom, but ground ball to be won. Who wants it? Jake Rosenthal. Big ground ball under pressure here. Wood being thrown. If a wood chop could chop wood. And there's a push. Oh, he's going to say he stepped out of bounds.
Yep.
Let him play. We asked him to let him play.
Yeah, that was good. Good hard ball there, but Kiplock said, not on my watch. That was out of bounds.
And Scotty McKinnon says, Pezza, with a big asterisk. And Sam Kilford said, classic Pez. So a few people on Pez's side tonight here. And Peter Whitcomb, he's just got some bombs going on.
Classic Pez. They've won the clock back there, haven't they?
So we've got 70 on the live feed listening at the moment. So let's get that to 100, shall we? And send Ryan off with a big bang to the Worlds.
No.
So just coming here, Liam Hood. He just brushes his shoulder and says, Jakey, that didn't, I didn't actually feel that. It might have been Cody Rosenthal, actually. But he's dropped the ball. Big one to be had. There's a loose ball push. No. There's a bit of feeling going on over on the bench over there.
So it should be.
That'll be a Brighton ball. It is a grand final, isn't it?
Absolutely. Plenty on the line. There's no next week, Tone.
And Joey Castle's watching, one of the boys over at Chatty. 50-year anniversary between Chatty and Burnside this year.
The Castle.
The big Castle. Saw Joey over here up at Sturt.
What about the Serenity?
It is.
How's the Serenity?
No. So there's some pressure out there at the moment in the heads.
A lot of pressure.
All perceived. There's not a lot going on. There's early stages, 2-1, I should say, Brighton's way.
Big check from Rosenthal. Ball to be won. Still fighting down there. That could... ball to be won there from Lynn. That could have been very dangerous. Kicks it over to Phillips. Phillips not feeling it. Another ball to be won here. Good ball to Silky Sandow. Looks down the bottom. Cole, huge save. Huge save from Clint Barker. Another big save from Barker. That's 2 in as many seconds. It is willing out here. James Mullins with the ball. Go two-handed. Needs to pick it up.
Heat is on here early.
Plenty going on here.
Yeah, good
ball still to be won. Bangs. Good work there from Nick Wells. And Nick Wells just says, James Mullins, that's what you're going to cop in a couple of weeks' time over in the World Box Tournament.
This next one's
that's over the top too. So there's plenty going on here. This could work here though. Arlen Lim picks up.
Pretty important here, this next possession. Huge battle up and down the field. If someone can get a settler now, the ice will be broken.
And Cam's decided he's not going to let his hands free. Oh, nice pick. Beautiful pick.
Go. Oh.
That was tailored to the defence. They knew exactly where that one was going.
Eben a bit slow on the
Mind
two.
you.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be the pick and roll then, but there was the pick
and
without a roll.
Mind you, the Libber wasn't even expecting that. He wasn't ready for it, wasn't watching it. And Burnside will
are out.
just get one into offence, and a little bit of a time to take a breath here as we have a timeout called by Ryan, the Burnside coach there.
Ryan says, let me have a look at this. Let me have a look at the inclusion here of Cole Rosaland.
So, yeah, he's
Is that what we're going with?
first opportunity of the game, and I thought it was a huge decision to leave Cam Leach out of this side after what he did in the first game. But we're not the coaches. We don't see what goes on down at the club. But right now, Cole's got to reward Ryan's decision for the inclusion. Mind you, that was 2 huge saves then from Chippy. He's come to play.
Yep, agree. Chippy, good start. Woodford, a good start off the X. Brighton getting first look at it. They're getting plenty of time in the offence. Burnside haven't really had time enough with ball in their offensive end to settle. So the next 5 minutes are pretty important, I would have thought.
Yep, so 2 minutes left in this quarter, under 2 minutes now. And Benji Muxlow, hey, old Benj, g'day Benj, was set up perfect for the pick and roll, he says.
Yes, agreed, Benj, agreed.
Top left, gents, top left.
So obviously Ryan's had a bit of a look. Now last year, obviously at this stage, Chicks, they were 3-1.
Close to 4.
Close to 4-1. Well, that was early in the second, and then they didn't score after about 4 minutes into that second quarter.
Yep.
We're 2-1 down at the moment, and
I think Burnside are a much more equipped team this year. Last year may have been a little one-dimensional. Very good when they're up and
they had a
about.
much shorter bench last year too, just quietly. They go down to 16 this year.
Discipline and determined has been there.
The young guys from Brighton. That's a good double from Fuss. Looks up the top.
Hoodie.
Hood. Bang! Hoodie's come to play. And is he putting his name on a medal early? That's 2 for Liam Hood. And that was a cracker. That was as good as Pez's down the other end. Let's get it up to the 100 mark. Ryan wants to know he's being heard, so you can all
Living
watch.
choice replay. No. Yes.
Yes, here it comes.
Yes, no.
So Hood here, just on the outside, just kicks back.
Waiting for it.
Set, bang, rip.
Oh.
Extra pass. Open man far side.
So Nick Brown, Jacob Newman, Mark Bahaja, Nathan Arscott, Ashley Hill, Chad Linder, Dennis Hansford, Hannah Goff, Michael Donato, all watching on the live feed as Josh Harris hears that there's plenty of people on the live feed and tries to get it done. But Chippy, good work there. Back to Chippy. Looks up the top. Jack Woodford cannot let him go like that. Good work there from Jimmy Goodrich, but he's got a trailer. And Josh Harris gets back well. So up the top here, Brigham on Harris. So clock is on the field here. They'll be looking for the last shot.
Sorry, what was that?
Clock is on the field. Oh, didn't see that coming. Oh, steps out. So can Goodrich get another? No, he cannot even get over the halfway line. And Benji Muxlow says, very sweet, Liam. He liked that shot. Benji is Burnside Bears, and at quarter time on the Living Choice scoreboard, we see Burnside 2, Brighton 2. And looking to be a very different game to that first semi-final we saw down at Glenelg.
They're going to get plenty of opportunity. Lewis Dow, you can see, win that last face-off off the X. Brighton got some clear plans for Lewis. Hack away. Let's create a contest.
And you can
Let's
see
beat him off the ground.
Here on the instant replay, Living Choice instant replays, that's the one where old Jakey Rosenthal went to himself, but old Eamon Locke sitting on the backside just went, I'll have that, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
And here we go, turn back the clock, Mr. Perham.
Yep, low to high.
Ripping that and down the other end here. Good ball to be won. Steps across.
Extra pass, wasn't it? Kicking it to X. Up to the 45 on a drop down. Ryan, you'd enjoy them most times.
Here, Betty Skew says, great first quarter. And David Main says, go Bombers. As we have a quick word from our sponsors here in Traditional Verandas, Carports, Roofing and Guttering.
Your choice.
John Wood here for Living Choice Fullerton, a luxury retirement village which is set to become the most exclusive retirement living address in Adelaide. Keith, what's your verdict?
I'm impressed, John. These apartments really do have the wow factor, and you can choose from spacious one-bedroom apartments through to ultra-luxurious penthouses.
Location, luxury, lifestyle and living well. Once again, Living Choice has ticked all the boxes.
Come and have a look at the stunning display apartment
and discover the new standard in retirement living.
And here we go, back to live action here. Lewis Dow against Jack Woodford. Jack Woodford having the spoils at the moment, apart from the one he broke. That one's come out the back here. Good little fight on Lewis Dow. Good job to get out there. Jack Woodford just coming through. Angus Cook here, not picking up the ball. Just gave it away. We've got a whistle here, though. Illegal procedure on Burnside. They stepped over the line without possession on this, with advantage gone, and the ball will be a Brighton Bombers ball. And Cody Rosenthal just imagined Josh Harris a lot closer to him than he actually was, and dropped the ball, but able to pick it back up down to Jake Rosenthal. And you've really got to put pressure out on Jake Rosenthal at that X position
He
there.
starts a lot of plays up, Tone, likes to feed the ball. But I think one thing Brighton need to do tonight is what they did well last week was their inside game.
Yep.
Drive, dodge, and dump it off to the free man once the doubles come.
Adam Fiddle. Jake Rosenthal with a nice spin there. Again, Phillips just getting beaten with that nice little roll, and Jake just missing the cage, and opportunities will be far and few between tonight, you'd say, so you want to make the most of everyone you get. But I think Jake's already come to play. Arlen Lim just steps down on Scotty Dawson. Good save down the back there. Cam Semler picks the ball up. He's chased by Lee Perham. Kicks that one over to Adam Phillips. Adam Phillips over to Brett Williams. He's got a man up the side here in Scotty Dawson. And Scotty Dawson, who's he's had a short stick most of his life. That's a pretty, that's backing your teammate, isn't it?
Yeah, he likes it.
As Lucas just heads down the back.
I think what's fair to say is...
there it is.
There we go.
Early one. And you see there, Cole gets on the board. Inclusion, he might have missed that first goal, but he's got his first assist. And Lucas gets on the board there. And that's his first of the night. Lucas Bastarash. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Sounds good to me.
You can just see here on the back, Cole with the ball. Lucas, quick on his feet, Lucas.
Very quick.
He was good in game one of the semi-final as well. And Lucas Bastarash with that goal. And he gets his first of the game.
Lucas Smith. Hope I've pronounced that right.
Shix is on Smith now. As we see here, Lewis Dow and Jack Woodford battling in the centre again. And ball there. It's a good contest in the centre. Sorry, that wasn't. That was Dougie Brooks in the centre. And Dougie Brooks with an outstanding game last week. But plenty of pressure being shown there by Chris Nicola. Kicks the ball down here to Jake Rosenthal. Rosenthal to Perham. And Perham just kicks it up to Locke. And you got to stop Locke when he's got the ball from driving. He's that real box player, isn't he? He'll push in on you and he's a really good ball handler.
Yeah, certainly tough to match up on. Looks like Brighton going into a 2-3-1, we could call that, I suppose. Isolation up high, which is what they like. They
really spreading that Burnside defence, aren't they?
They do. They get their kids who have got some pace about them, nice and high.
And they play this little two-man game on the bottom corner, that little box game.
And then they look to isolate high.
And then they get the shorties up the top. Doug Brooks will just keep going left. Keep going left and move the ball. And there we go. Another unforced error, as we say, don't we, Ryan?
Inherent pass.
Inherent pass, one for you, Kieran Silky Sando.
He loves that one, actually.
The inherent pass just missing there, and maybe there's something that you can watch back on here while you're travelling over to the World Championships. And I'll say it again, inherent pass.
Oh, he absolutely loves it.
He loves that?
He loves it.
Oh, we love it that everyone's on there. Lucas Bastarash, geez, he's got some motors on the outer side here. And he said, just give it to me. But Brady Williams, good pressure there from Arlen Lim. He knew where that ball was going, and Brady misses that pass. And Brighton will be in an offensive situation. About 4.5 minutes gone in this second term, and we see Burnside 3, Brighton 2.
Ryan, you just can't afford to give the Brighton offense another chance.
No,
can
you can't. They've just made a good stop, and
And there you go, Brighton.
Oh, hang on. There's an inherent pass again. And they're coach killers.
yeah, look,
Absolute
Burnside
coach
really got
killers.
to take their chances now. They've got to get this into offense and get a good set.
Yeah.
So Bastarash, if he gets the opportunity, will run this out. You cannot leave him. That's the man they want to go through. His pace. But is he going to be able to just continually run out the game? They stretch over here as Lim just steps to Harris. Harris doesn't mind ever going forward.
They might be on here, Tony.
Harris is going to
He's
load
asking
up
for
when
it.
he looks down the bottom.
Oh.
Cole again with another great save from Chippy. That's he's got Cole's measure at the moment. Kicks up here to Locke, and there's numbers ahead of him. So Locke will have to settle this down, and we will have an illegal procedure. So there was an illegal substitution by the look of it on the bench, and Gowdy getting right on the spot over there again.
I'd like to see the replay. Looked okay from here, but
He's much closer.
he's much closer than
He's a
what
lot
we are.
closer.
He's a lot closer. He is.
So we are now up to 83, 84 viewers.
Ooh.
Get us to that 100. Come on, lacrosse community. Get on. Tell your friends that it's on. Get on the YouTube. Get on that massive 75-inch screen and watch us live. Just like watching. And then you got the cricket and the footy on later. What more could the night entail? Bit of lacrosse.
Bit of lacrosse.
Bit of footy.
What size is your TV, Tones?
Bit of cricket. I've still got the 23-inch. Well, look at me, mate. I mean, it's a height thing, comparative.
It's not off the floor, is it? You still got it on the.
It's Sandow.
Silky Sandow.
Silky showing what he's going to do over in the Welds.
Poor help defence from Brighton.
Yeah, he's just tiptoed past the defender.
Yeah, it was.
And Brighton, not without their opportunities down this end. They missed the cage. Brett hasn't actually made a save down there yet, I don't
I
think.
don't think he's needed to, but if Burnside keep this going, I think most of us know that Burnside are a momentum team, so once they get fired up, they're very hard to stop.
And Brian Bartlett says, is Paul Marshall playing? Well, yes, he is indeed.
He's dressed.
As Jack Woodford just brings the ball into offense. Another face-off win there against James Mullins. He's going about that defensive work. Cam Semler.
It's a great battle.
Lee Parham. Oh, fires. And that's going to be a Brighton ball as Alan Lim. That one goes the entire width of the field here at Norwood Oval. And Bogger will bring them back into play. So Brighton, just another drop there. Cody Rosenthal, he's feeling it. You've got to be better than that at this level, especially at this particular game. Ball to be won on the deck here. Oh, there's a fire. Ball flicked up front. Good work from Rosenthal. Good work from Lynn.
Joshy
But
Harris.
Kicks it over here to Semler. Semler, all the longies getting their work done. And we're just going to play triangles at the back here with the long sticks. Kicks it back to Harris. Now they can stretch this side here because Cody Rosenthal hasn't seen this. They've got the overload on this side, so Joshy Harris will find this really easy. Pops it over to Cam Semler. Cam Semler will be looking at an outlet. Lucas says, I'll bring that to you. And a really easy clear from Burnside.
Let him out a bit easy then, Brighton.
Yeah, well, they were looking at that sub. I mean, Cody Rosenthal dropped the ball again out that other side and basically has turned the ball over here. So is that going to really cost Brighton in this particular play? They score here. That's a huge turnover.
Yeah, maybe we'll do. Huge possession right now for Burnside. 4-2 Brighton, not without their opportunities.
Oh, he's trying to pick his stick up. So, yeah, we'll let him play. Let him play. Some people would have called that interference, playing without his stick. But you know what? He was trying to pick it up.
That's it. This is one guy that can get it going for Burnside as well, Steve Lambert.
Lambert, little razzle-dazzle at the top. Looks to the other side.
Oh,
Goodrich.
He's just missed the cookie jar.
Oh, that has nearly rattled the top shelf. And we've got 52 on the YouTube as well. So 52 plus 87 is 139. We're up there.
Thought we were losing it.
No, we're 86 on the Facebook and 52 on the YouTube. So Ryan's feeling happy about going away for the Worlds. Now there's over 130 watching.
Nice little isolation setup here. Top centre. Sandow. Nice easy switch up from Brighton.
So that one just popped down the bottom. Ball to be won here. And another turnover. Still pressure, Lambert on Woodford. Lets him go a bit easy there. As we see Bastarash just going about his work and monstered him on the outer side there. Bastarash there, Lucas. He's coming to play tonight.
Yeah, it's looking good tonight.
Putting his hand up for that medal at the end of the game as well.
Yep, having a big influence early.
Had a massive influence in the first semi-final.
Oh, he had some cracking shots, actually.
So Sandow just settling things down here. It's 4-2 here, Burnside Brighton. And obviously the first game that they played, as we see a substitution come on here, we see Chris Nicola onto the field for Lucas Bastarash, who did his work.
He's done his job. He's the 2 goals up.
Going to have a
bit of
rest.
a rest, mate.
Let him go. So Chris Nicola kicks it over there to Cole.
This is probably the difference of the Burnside team 2019 v 2018, where they ran at such a short bench. Tony, they didn't have the luxury of running fresh legs.
And you've seen that in that first game they played when they ran over. I mean, they really did monster Brighton in that first final.
Yep.
And you see here the pace. I mean, Hood, he has really stepped up this year. You know, he's had a couple of years with some injuries with the heels and the ankles and stuff like that. But Holler Marshall, he is in the crease. Oh, Shane Abbott, he loves it, doesn't he?
He loves it.
Very clear call.
Here.
And Nicky Bolton says the commentary is top shelf.
Yeah, thanks, Nicky. And pity my lunch wasn't that top shelf yesterday, but we won't get into that.
So the ball is coming into the offense here for the Brighton Bombers.
You good? Yeah. Gonna stay here.
And you can hear Shane Abbott just having a chat there to Gowdy. And Brighton into offense now, steps
Pez.
around. Oh, Pez tried an angle that wasn't conducive, and Brett Williams comes up with his first save of the night.
Most improved goalkeeper, isn't he? Really, the last 2 or 3 years.
He's done well with the body saves, just always in the right positions.
Really knows his angles, really knows what he can and can't save.
And he's found his niche after obviously being a bit of a journeyman in the lacrosse scenes.
And it's great to see, Tone, isn't it? Couldn't find a spot at Glenelg, tried at Brighton, again, played a year or two, went to Sturt, couldn't find a spot at Brighton, couldn't find a spot at Sturt. He's been influential here at Burnside.
Massive. He's been massive. So Chris Nicola with the ball now on the outer side. And if Burnside could get one here, it's going to make that gap, obviously 3 goals. But more than that, the mental side of Brighton, you know, where do they go from here? Because certainly some good ball movement for the Burnside Bears. And they'll be looking at singing their song at the end of the game if they get over the top for the first time ever.
Oh, they'll love to. They'll love to. I've just spoken to the boys before. They're all pumped, all excited, ready to go.
So again, one of the young defenders here for Brighton, and that's been a bit of their Chris Nicola. Oh, he doesn't mind a shot.
He was thinking about it.
And a couple of box players here together. Lambo just dropping the handle of the ball, but he's just as likely to pop this away here. Shot had. Ball to be won on the ground. It's going to be hard ground balls tonight, boys. Don't go light at that. We're going to have a loose ball push.
Bogger wasn't happy with that.
And Bogger sees something. So ball will come out of the defensive end. And Brighton will bring the ball out.
Nice, slow control, clear. Brighton. Ball with Chippy. They don't use their long poles much, do they, Ryan?
No, they like running through the shorties.
They do. They try and find an early break.
So there's Fuss. And they've got a lot of these young runners, don't they, like Fuss.
Oh.
Kicks it. He's just assessing the options. But Burnside have really set up almost a good zone here, haven't they, in this clear? They want him to throw to that long pole. They want him to give it to Pridham. So Pridham now brings it out.
Yeah, and they're shutting off the short pass.
So they've pushed 2 up. Ball comes up.
Yep, he said
Kicks
Byron,
it back. And if you kick it the other side now, that's where it starts to open up.
There he is.
Fuss, he's going to run that one over. And should run that over and run that out. Again, that's twice they've tried to take on the boundary line. That's going to be a penalty. So you've got to be out of 5 metres there.
They're high on that
really
flag.
Good from Chuck. He steps down, bang! And there he is, Cole for his first.
He's got him.
Finally gets one. And that penalty will be waved off. It was a 30-second technical. The rule is now that when that ball is started, you cannot get in to, So we got 5-2 as we see here on the...
Little unlucky, Tone, wasn't he, Mitch Fuss? A little unlucky chasing the ball out of bounds, coming back in, doing the right thing, probably then getting penalised. However, Burnside still went to the bottom corner and they scored regardless of the fact.
Yep, absolutely. And that penalty is obviously waved off after the goal.
Yes.
But that rule was brought in for those situations where they want people to be able to fast start. And if you get within that 5 metre, and you, as a defensive player, you've got to know to get out of that space.
Must be frustrating, Ryan. You're the current player at the moment. Must be frustrating when there's a fast start rule and the only person getting left behind is the umpire.
Yeah, correct. It actually happened to us in our last game against Woodville. Jesse was a bit onto the ball more than us. He's picked it up. Bang, whistle's gone. He's off to the races. We're still wondering what the hell's going on.
With the illegal stick or with the OK stick?
I think at that time it was the OK stick. Yeah, we did. He got done. Called him 3 stick checks in the one game.
Yeah, we'll check him a couple more times. And yeah, interesting game that one.
Yeah, it was 2 out of 3.
North Adelaide unlucky. I watched that game.
There's a legend to our right here, Mr. Steve Mortimer, just walking his way away from us now.
No, I must have missed him.
Must have missed him. Okay. Shix is just obviously beer time. So Kirsty McLean Bixo says, so is the scotch we're drinking, Nicky. And Matty Elliott says, be good to see Burnside win. Go Bears.
Matty Elliott.
Jemima Ray says, go Bombers, watching bright and early from London.
Where is Matty Elliott watching from?
So where are you watching from, Matty? Give us a shout out.
Slice, are you still around the place?
Sarah Azzo with the big bear emoji at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Woodford.
Family.
Jack Woodford is not going to give it up, though. Dana Johnson's watching. Andrew Lang is also watching. So big shout out to everyone who is live and free on LSA TV. We hope you're enjoying this Living Choice State League Grand Final between Brighton and Burnside. And Brighton certainly need to get one on the money. And they'd like to put one away as it's 5-2 here in the second term.
As long as Jack Woodford can keep dominating off the axe, Brighton will not go to bed just yet.
See, this is the thing they had. I mean, obviously against Glenelg, they had a lot of these younger guys stand up and come into the game, and they were coming off. Brigham, again, you see the footing, just losing the footing out. There is a little wet underfoot. There was some rain earlier. Bang, big shot there from Brigham. So they need to get amongst. But the first semi they had, this is where Brighton struggled. They had no one who was looking to get in on the cage and really be a danger. And it was only Eben Locke who seemed to find his way in a couple of times from almost barging through that was working. So Burnside, obviously, with the right defence at the moment.
Good matchups. They've gone with short stick on Brigham. Here we go.
And Brighton just starting to build here. Brigham, you cannot let him free his hands. Good from Brett Williams. Big save. And that had some heat on it as well. And Brighton are going to have to chase this one out. And Burnside go about their building just like traditional verandas, carports, roofing and guttering, or the traditional group as they're now known as Chucky. He gets a little bit of addition to him with 2 Brighton defenders. So there's one on the outer side here, but look at Scotty Dawson is up the middle. He's going to be called for a push here. There's an illegal body push, but it'll be a turnover. And I think as he went past him, Brady Williams may have given him one. But then again, that's fair enough. Get out of the goalie circle.
Yeah, Brady doesn't like anyone near his crease. And he tells me about it every week.
I mean, you see it in the box game, don't you? Anyone comes near that circle.
And it's on.
They are fair game. Matty Elliott says, watching from home on phone, enjoying it. Well, Matty, glad you can be here, mate. On live and free. And Steve Fisher and Robbo also watching as well. So this is the one where Eben Locke goes about his work.
Rosenthal down
the back.
Lim.
Little up check. Good work there from Harris. Little flick. Oh, bang. There's a flag. Bogger's seen something there. That it's going to be an illegal body, I believe. Yep, illegal body is the call. Just a little bit too much on that one.
So I reckon Ryan, being an offensive player, they're the options you take on goals with Brett 3 or 4 years ago. He's improved out of sight.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
You're going to need a better look at goal than that. You're going to need to turn him a lot quicker than that. Any sider he's got stitched up. Any angle he's got stitched up. You need to pass that extra one on Brighton simply aren't doing that at the moment.
No, but Brighton, I think, are just they're just throwing the ball for throwing the ball at the goal. They're hungry for a goal at the moment. They know they need one, so...
Yep.
And they haven't got one in a man-up opportunity yet.
No, are they going to change, Craig? Are they going to change their play?
Again,
Same play.
Through to X, peel out in the 45.
And Burnside know what's coming.
Yeah.
So they've set this up really well. Sticks down, Brigham.
Whoa!
That one fizzes, and that one's gone up into almost Cooper's Hill there.
Yep.
There's one for the young kids out the back.
That's a session.
Oh, that's a terrible, terrible pass
Joshy
from
Harris.
Rosenthal. And that's the pressure that comes in it. All of a sudden, you know, you have an opportunity. That was a terrible pass from Jake Rosenthal. Ball turns over, and Burnside through Chris Nicola at the moment. Look at bringing it out. So the 2-on-1 here. But look, you got Perham.
Oh, no.
Down here, you got Perham. You got Rosenthal, and you got Lim. And they're all sitting on the back corner. Burnside just getting that ball out too easy here.
Every time too easy.
Offense is the start of defense. And you've got to get these guys up above the ball, because if they're just going to sit there and talk about what they've done wrong all night, this is going to be a 12-goal game.
What are the turnover stats at the moment, Tone? It must be starting to creep up a little bit, I reckon.
It is, and turnover stats at the moment, you've got, at the moment, looking at my list here, Brighton have turned the ball over 7 times, unforced, and Burnside only the 3. So, you know, they're certainly above it on the score, and you can see that was just an inherent pass.
Yes.
If I can use that word.
You may.
Ryan. And at the feet of Brigham.
It's not my word. You can have it.
Oh, it's mine.
He's trademarked it.
TM.
Look, you're absolutely right, Tone. Control the ball, control the game. It's as simple as that, really. The lacrosse is not a tricky sport.
Simple it is.
Look after it.
Simples. So, and I can tell you, if Burnside get another one here going in towards the halftime break, that'll be huge. Good defence there. Ground ball to be won. This is the one. Lambert!
Oh,
Lambert, he loves it. And a flag thrown on the play as well.
Abbott and Costello not happy with proceedings.
So let's listen here. Okay, so the flag was just a 30-second, I think. A 6-1, 6-2 lead now.
Jack Woodford
As
going
Woodford
about his
again.
business.
He hasn't given up, has he? Has not given up at all. Flag thrown. Good hide out there from Kiplock. The flag on the play. They're going to have to move the ball, but not. And that will be half-time.
A gift. A gift at the half.
So Burnside will start the quarter, and it was a 30-second technical too, just for a hold. So Burnside here, 6-2 up at the half-time break. And with all the momentum at the moment, boys.
I agree. Not so much all the play, but when they do have the ball down their end zone, so calm, so collective, so accountable, and so disciplined. They're running their patterns. They know the game plan. They're not straying too far from it. They don't look under pressure. Whereas Brighton at the other end just seem to be, like Ryan mentioned before, they just seem to be screaming out for a goal, and they're not sure where it's coming from.
All right, so as we go to our replays here for the first half, and you're going to see a fair bit of Burnside, but that shot there went out the back. The ball down the back here, kicks up the top, bang. There was the first one, Bastarash.
Bastarash, I like it.
Bastarash, we'll call. Sorry,
Smith.
Lucas, if we pronounce that wrong, Shicks reckons Smith. And you see there another one, and the ball to be won here. Good running there from Chris Nicola. Just kicks it down. Limited time on the backside, and Lambert, didn't he like that one?
Oh, he's jumping for joy.
Hey, and why not? Oh, sorry, this is the Lambert one. Just kicks it out the back. Lambert
Look at the
goes
height on the
bang,
jump
ready.
after.
And a couple of shout-outs here. Sammy Kilford says, got to get inside on Brett. Become too good on those outside shots, and we agree with that. Naomi Rigg just sent a couple of bombers. Adam Hamilton's watching, so big shout-out to Adam. And then we've got Damien Hallowell. Love to see the Burnside win their first MLSL GF, especially former GLC teammate Brett Williams. Go Bears. Phil McConnell says try AN. And Dominic Kildare says Bears looking good for their first premiership, and it'll be well deserved to have worked hard and improved greatly.
Sorry, Tone, what was that? Try the AM station? Try the AM bandwidth?
Try AN. Oh, I don't know. It said try AN. I think Phil I think Crack's had a couple of drinks and he's not finished typing.
He's trying to find us on the AM bandwidth.
Yeah.
Crack, come on, get with us, mate. We're on the FM dial.
It's and we're going to
Comes on very
shoot downstairs very shortly and have an interview down there, I believe. So we're going to have an interview about the 1959 game on the MCG. So anniversary, 60th anniversary.
Ben Hook will talk to Graham Lyons, who I believe was captain of that Victorian team who played against the South Australians. Graham Lyons, of course, 1959 Port Adelaide Premiership player.
And Doc Egg says, rooting for the Bears from Korea with Typhoon Lingling approaching. So we're certainly getting around the world here. So big shout out to you, Doc Egg. Peter Whitcomb says, roaming Shikha at half time.
I remember coming back from Korea at one stage with something very similar to a Typhoon Ling Ling.
It was very close to that. As roaming Shikha. No, unfortunately, Hookie's got the mic, so Shikha can't get down there. And Cam Adams is also watching it. A big shout out to Cam Adams. Obviously doing an ACL last week in the semi-finals. And Cam, all the association, SA guys, heart goes out to you, mate. We know that you were really looking forward to playing in the Australian box team. And I know Ryan Gaspari was looking at having you as a teammate there. So big shout out to Cam Adams, mate.
Big loss there, mate.
Big love to you, mate.
Yep.
And
so it's half-time here at the Living Choice State League Men's Grand Final. Burnside going very nicely, 6-2 lead at half-time. I'm sure for many of you, you think it's quite novel and new, the concept of playing lacrosse here at Norwood Oval. But I can tell you, it's a tradition that goes back 80 years. In 1959, it was the South Australian team that took on a touring team from the United States, played 2 games here at Norwood Oval, 1 game at Theberton Oval, and the 3 surviving members of that team and a couple of other members, family members of that team, have made it here tonight. Could you please put your hands together for Dudley Hamilton, Brian Gomer, Graham Lyons, and the families of a couple of the other players, Ralph Turner and Don Gomer. Graham, I'm going to start with you. You're the relative pup of this team at only 83 years of age. What are your memories of this amazing time? I think you played 1 game in the day against the Americans, 1 game at night. What are your memories of 60 years ago?
We were terrified. When they came, they killed us in their attire. They killed us in their preparation for games on the ground. But we killed them with our paltry attire that we had. We looked after it and treasured it, but when we looked in their change room, it was scattered from one door to the next. It was everywhere. This lovely, expensive equipment, they treated it like it wasn't worth 2 bob.
Graham, what were the, and you had 2 wins, of course, what were they like to play against? My understanding was they were pretty rough.
Well, someone said they were gridiron players out of season. They had necks on them that thick that I'd never seen before. These poles we see here in defence tonight was the first time we set eyes on lacrosse sticks with handles that long. They were very, very rugged. As Dudley, and we all reminisce tonight, that on that first game here against them after they came from Western Australia over here, I was peeved that I was substituted on the bench and I wasn't at centre. But I sat there for a while and our friend Dudley here was playing centre and they blew the whistle and the centre man for America picked up his stick, put it across Dudley's throat, pushed him 10 feet back, turned around, back, picked up the ball and said, "This is how you play it, mate." We said, "Oh, no way, you can't play it like that, mate, not here." They were rough. They certainly put the fear of God into us, but we had been a team together for a long time, and we had camaraderie. We had Alan Gandy, a superstar, a freak, score goals with 2 men on him, as it turned out, in the Australian Tide. The MCG, they put 2 on him because they knew how good he was, and he would still take the ball. They'd check him so hard he'd be in the air and he'd shoot the goal. Unbelievable. And there was very little of him. He was no big monster. He was a freak.
I tell you what, Graham, this is 60 years ago. You're recalling it like it was yesterday. Let's catch up with Dudley. I think now, Dudley, you were the captain of this team. What are your memories of that occasion back 60 years ago?
Well, I guess you have to be careful how I answer this, because I got people like Graham, of course, and we had a team that had been together for quite a long time, as he said, and they worked really hard and fast. We played a different style of lacrosse in those days. I've been trying to work out what happens out here tonight. But ours was based more on speed of both body and ball, and therefore it was strange to them, and it was strange to see the damage that they caused with their equipment.
Can I just check, Dudley, 90 years old?
Yes, that's correct.
How about a big round of applause for Dudley, making it back here, 90 years of age, the captain of the team in 1959. Fiona, I'm going to catch up with you very briefly. I think your father, Ralph Turner, a member of this team, did he ever share stories with you from the match?
Mostly it was the game he missed open. But I remember Mum talking about the game more, about how out here at Norwood, and she hated the fact that they played in solid mud, and they wore white shorts, so took her 3 or 4 days to get the mud from Norwood out. But I think Dad prided himself on the fact that he got to play with the best in Australia and against another level of lacrosse, which I think he really enjoyed.
Well, thank you so much, Fiona, and I think the second half's about to start. We'll keep this pretty quick, but let's catch up with Brian Gomer, 93 years of age, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is back here at Norwood Oval. Brian, can you remember that occasion back in 1959?
We beat the Yanks, and that was enough for me.
If you didn't hear that, he said, we beat the Yanks and that was enough for me. What was it like playing under lights?
Oh, the equipment we were using was far different than the equipment they have nowadays, and it's different somehow or other. I don't know why, but in football a lot. Yeah, the ball out, to push it back to who used to be on the other side, and it was good. But I could say that the lifts they use in Melbourne are not real fresh.
Could you please welcome him back to Norwood Oval, Brian Comer. What a legend of the sport. And Judy, this is your uncle, of course, because your father, I think, was Don Gomer. Did he ever share with you stories of this night at Norwood?
He loved the fact that he could play here, play for Australia and play with his brother. I think that was something that was really special to him. And the fact that he's now, he's passed on, but he's got siblings that are now, we all played and my kids play. So there's that legacy that they look back and go, Grandpa did something really good.
It's incredible, isn't it? It was 8 years. Amazing memories of it. Could you please thank Judy Evans, the daughter of Don Gomer, Fiona, the daughter of Ralph Turner, and our 3 legends of the game, Dudley Hamilton, Brian Gomer, and Graham Lyons. Please, a big round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, and welcome back here. 3 legends of the game there, as you just heard from the man, Mr. Ben Hook. And legends of the game are more legends of the game being built here tonight in this grand final, boys.
Message at half-time, Tone. I think that's the big thing, isn't it? What has Mark Mangan and Andy Dallison, what have they been able to relay to their troops? How can they get themselves back into this game? Although only being a 6-2 ball game at half-time, Burnside seem to be a little bit on top. How can Brighton get back into this game?
Brighton need to get their offense. They need a spark down there, because whatever they're doing at the moment is going through the motions. And Burnside have obviously talked about that extremely a lot, because everything they seem to do, Burnside are a step ahead. So I'm sure they would have spoken about the offense. And can I just say one thing? Craig Laux has sent a shout out here. He says he is sitting with the one and only Mr. Anthony Shocks Munro, loving the coverage. He said Bears are looking the goods, and Shocks from us here in the land of the internet, mate. It's, you know what, you're our brother, you're our mate, and you know what, we are here for you, man. Lauxie, it's great that you can be with the great man there watching, and Shocks, I hope...
Talk about special times. Craig Laux and Laux, I should say, and Shocks. I played against those 2 guys on Adelaide Oval. What a special treat that was.
Yeah, that was going back in the early 2000s, I believe.
It would have been. So, Craig and Anthony, God bless the pair of you. Hope you're not doing anything I wouldn't be doing. I just remember the good times.
Absolutely. Right? But our love is with Craig, Craig obviously, and obviously Shocks, who's... battling glioblastoma, stage 4 brain cancer at the moment. So we hope you're enjoying this. And for Shocks, I'm sure he'd love to see the mighty Bears get up, and, you know, he will enjoy that. No, that's as good as getting 40 touches in a game of footy.
Yep. Ryan, you got anyone to throw into the equation? Robbo again to go close? Or?
Robbo's always a standout, mate. I don't know how he stops that ball.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him plenty of times at training. He's like a Brett Williams.
North LA goalie, of course, we're talking about.
Of course, all-star from last year.
As we see Woodford go about his work here, and just dropped the handle of the ball. Perham coming through, Woodford coming through again, and if Bastarash can get this ball, he's out and about. So the ball's being flicked out the back here. That's come off Scotty Dawson. Oh, lucky to get away with that one, Brighton.
Bombers ball.
I agree.
And they need a spark. Who's going to be their spark, Tone?
I don't know, but Cam Adams on the live feed here. I mean, Cam obviously battling his own knee issue, but he says much love to Shocks as well. And Peter Greenhouse says, hell yeah, well said, Tony and crew. So
did he say and crew or just Tony?
I made that up, but he said Tony, but I'm saying crew because we are one here.
Yes, we are.
You know,
just picking them up on that, all right.
If we could play the Qantas ad, I would. We are one.
Very good.
Good work.
Good D here. Who's that?
James Mullins, Australian player. James Mullins. Lets him get inside, and that's good. That's a good trail check there. James Mullins doing a good job. You'll be looking forward to seeing that over very, very soon in the world.
Yes, transition player.
I just don't know that the 2-man game is a great option here against the Burnside defence. With how many are we talking about here? Four box players, 4 Australian box players.
It's not working, but they keep continuing with this, but I don't think it's working. They're going to have to try a different option.
And Zachary Clarence says, go Bears from Boston. So we've made it to the USA as well. He says, shouts Lucas and the Burnside fam. So
they really are coming out of everywhere, aren't they?
Coming out of everywhere. And Karen Mortimer's also watching. There's another legend.
Karen who, sorry?
Karen Mortimer.
No,
Shix has done ya.
No comment.
So, ball kicked up the top here. And Brighton really need to get one on the board here and just start the momentum rolling. Is it going to be one of the young guns like Arlen Lynn? Had a really good year this year. Still involved in the Australian 19 program at the moment.
He is,
and a big body. Rosenthal again.
Oh.
You know, it's these opportunities they're creating that they're not getting that could come back to bite them.
Yeah,
you see it all the time.
Yeah, good follow-up defence from young Phillips.
That's about the 4th time that he has got on the inside of Adam Phillips there. And
drives up high, does the little roll on the inside.
Little roll inside and gets down.
I don't like that move actually myself.
You don't?
Nah. Instead I turn like the Titanic though.
Yeah, but then again, you're a hard man to stop down there as we see Dougie Brooks trying to do the same thing. And he's just getting monstered by that Australian player that is James Mullins. And they have no answers at the moment offensively, do they? Again. Big ball to be won here. Perrin with the ball.
All over it.
The ball's just running Burnside's way at the moment.
Silky Sandow.
Here's another Australian player, Silky Sandow. He's obviously in tip-top form at the moment, going towards the Worlds.
He's like a Silky Terrier, is he? Australian Silky Terrier?
He's just silky. He is just absolutely silky. Every time he touches the ball, he does something, Kieran Sandow. And he's one of those players, Chicks, that potentially as a coach you would talk about in your pre-game addresses at trying to shut him down, because he can certainly take a game away from you.
Yep. Good ball control. Runs this offense pretty well for Burnside more times than not. Usually plays through the X, but high tonight. He's got a good matchup here with the long pole. He doesn't mind it.
Well, I think Jimmy Goodridge was tipped to play when Cam got out, and there he is on cue, just about Kieran Sandow. Jimmy Goodridge was tipped to play a bit of X ball tonight with Cam Leach coming out, but Jimmy seems to find himself high, as does Kieran, and I think Kieran's really dangerous from that X position.
Yeah, very quick on the feet.
And again, something could open up here.
Cole over the top.
Cole. He's had an opportunity. He's got one for the night. And Joey Castle says, "Go Burnside Bears, win this one, boys. Thinking of you, Shockers, from your sister club, Chadstone Lacrosse Club." Coach Joey Castle, see you guys soon for our 50th anniversary in Victoria. As the ball kicks up the top, and Lambert! He will love that, Steve Lambert. And the first blood of the third quarter goes to the Burnside Bears, and Lambo he loves the celebration, doesn't he?
He loves it.
Yeah, double strike there, Tone. That is Brighton's American long pole defending him at the time as well. Managed to find some space, Lambo. Good delivery to him. Got a little bit of an open hand, free the hands, bang, top corner.
And Chippy whacking his helmet down there. He's whacking himself. He's not happy with that one. He thought he should have probably got that. As we saw on the Living Choice incident replay here, ball just comes around the back. Looks up the top there, Steve Lambert, just outside, bang.
Bit of high heat.
But offside stick side, and we've got a illegal procedure.
Oh, not good enough, is it? Brighton must have been over the line. Abbott and Costello.
Foot on the line deemed here on the wing. So you don't want to give up easy possessions.
No, 5-goal game now, 7-2.
So is she starting to warm up, or Brighton going to do what they normally do and get that 2 or 3 back and create a game of this?
She's curtain stone.
Craig Schicker has called it about 7 minutes into the third quarter that Burnside are going to win their first state league premiership.
The ladies
and I can tell you, if
seat.
Kieran Sandow gets down like that and frees his hands, and the Burnside moving the ball especially well. Lucas, bang, big save from Chippy. He's not giving it up yet. Paul Marshall out the back there.
It's the recovery from Burnside I'm most impressed with. The ability to get that loose ball, give themselves second efforts is what I'm most impressed with.
You know what I'm impressed with? I'm impressed with Ryan Gaspari and Craig Schicker are watching live tonight. They are impressive people if you've ever seen them in the flesh. And good save there from Barker.
Good save.
So Barker's just going to pop it out the back. So Chippy he's working hard. He kicks it down to Raymond, who kicks it back to Barker. Burnside, look at them though. They're across the ground. So they've got Toby Raymond this side against Paul Marshall in a foot race. Who wins that one?
Clear direction during their ride all the way through to the midfield. Matchups offensively.
So there's got to be a free player here, because Burnside have got... Okay, so Burnside pushing those 2 down. It's almost like that 2-4 in soccer where they have that 2-4, and if that's got to come off. Byron Pridham down the outer side here. Or keep going.
No, he didn't like that. Doesn't like that.
No. You've got an advantage. You get to put it over the top. This guy, Cole can't cross there. Otherwise, they're offside. You keep going, and if he crosses, you get the offside. You get a flag down. He's pulled up with about 6 metres to go before the halfway line with no one in front of him.
I've seen this type of ride before. Burnside.
And the ball's hit the deck, and Silky Sandow.
Not so
opportunity.
silky.
Or Evan just bring it over, kicks it up to Woodford. And Brighton are going to really need a score here if they're to keep within this game. There's about 8.5 minutes gone. Perham
realising that.
Again, those inherent passes just killing Brighton at the moment.
Yeah, Perham I guess he'd want to have that one back if he could. They just need to get the ball, settle it down. They really need to get the ball back in their sticks in the offense, because every time they get it, they're just too eager to go for it.
But again, that's 11 unforced turnovers for Brighton at the moment.
You're unbelievable with the stats, Tom. I don't know how you keep count, mate.
It's just not good enough, Tone, is it? You cannot expect to win State League Grand Finals turning the ball over that amount of time.
I mean, you turn it over 2 times a quarter in these big games against sides that will hurt you on the scoreboard back the other way at 2 times a quarter. Mm-hmm. Brighton are nearly going 3 times a quarter. If Burnside get 1 score out of that, that's a 4-goal game, and at the moment they're 5 up. So those unforced turnovers would be really hurting at the moment, and coaching staff for Brighton really would have to address that. But I think it's the pressure that Burnside are putting on the Brighton offense that's making that happen.
So I think the ball will come back up high side here. What do we got here? Goodwin with Cook driving hard. Nat Rowe to defend and a double.
Oh, and Goodrich just rips one wide and nearly needed an addition. And if you need an addition, get in touch with the Traditional. They will look after you for all your carport, roofing, verandering, and any needs you need around the house.
Guttering, cladding, you name it.
30 years in the business.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you want that? Jimmy Goodrich hasn't even been around that long.
Ooh.
And Silky Sandow, good pressure there from Woodford. But Silky pops that one wide, but that's a couple of shots in a row. And Benj Muxlow says early call, Shicks. He likes it.
Yeah, I said the same thing, Benji.
Yeah, sharpen up the pencil, Benji.
And Dom Kildare says, I agree with Shicks, Burnside Lacrosse Club, Premiers 2019. Cole has Lambo, and if Lambo can get another one, he'll be very excited. He's got 2 at the moment. And Charlotte Winnan says Silky with big laughter, Tony, the memories. Well, he got that in the box tournaments earlier in the year, that nickname.
I would like to know a little bit more behind that story, Tone.
Oh, I just thought it was like silk going through your fingers when he was going through a defence.
I bet it was.
And he just literally found a way to get past everything.
No, he does it with ease, doesn't he?
And it was just, there was a great feel about everything he did. So that's where Silky came from. And he loves it too, doesn't he?
He loves it.
Loves it.
So
Stall is about to be called here, I think, on Burnside.
They're looking pretty comfortable in attack, just passed around. Not much pressure getting applied by Brighton.
But Brighton, they're just, Jack Woodford's looking, he's picked up Sandow.
It's a good matchup for Sandow. He'll be happy with that.
That's a great matchup for Sandow because Jack, but looks up the top. Oh, Marshall. This is the Marshall. Looks inside. Bang.
Oh.
BTB there from Cole. Looks to Goodrich. Goodrich kicks it out to Sandow. Sandow goes bang. That's a good save there from Barker again. And the stall is still on here. So Burnside cannot bring the ball up above the restraining line. So that's why they're playing really low here. And Chris Nicola, that's a good matchup too, I'd say.
Chucky on Chook.
Oh, he tried to trip him.
Oh.
That's not going to work. Up the top.
Bang!
Silky Sandow puts another one away, and we have an 8-2 game here for Burnside. And Shix is hearing in the background that the fat lady is singing.
She started to sing. She's warm.
Got news for him.
Remember, he's a two-way midi.
He gets it in defence and then carries it up the field. He's not starting out the front gate. He's got illusions of grandeur. What's the matter with him? He likes to hit people rather than get hit.
He does. And as I said, for all those joining us, we got Bobby Carter, the Australian coach of the men's box team, with us. And we're just talking about how Ryan was going to score plenty of goals in this tournament.
Look, he's a beast of a man, and I like him coming out the back door and then hitting a few blokes and getting the ball transitioning up. Like, we know he can play offence, but I think he's a little more comfortable hitting blokes and getting the ball and getting it upfield for our front gate blokes to be able to score.
And obviously, 4 years ago, you were 7th?
Finished 8th.
8th, sorry. 7-8 play.
Our crossover game against England, we went down by a goal. If we'd pulled that game off, we were into a better position for a podium finish, but and then we lost our next couple against Ireland and Czechs.
Yep, so no pressure on Ryan and the boys, but your thought process for the team this time? Medal?
Look, I think we finished top of our division in 215. I think realistically we're looking for a top finish in our division again. and then I think we can push inroads into our crossover games. We finish top. We'll play the 5th team in blue division, which we think will probably be England. Win that game. We play 4th in blue, which will probably be Israel, and we get over the line in those 2 games, and I'm more than confident we'll get a podium game.
Excellent. Well, we wish you well for the Worlds, and we're going to let you enjoy the rest of this game. And obviously, Coach Burnside in 2006 when I played with you in a grand final, and while we didn't get over the line there, it looks like Burnside are well on the way to getting their first one ever.
If they do, it will be their first one. And the club was formed in '52. This will be it's a long time coming for them, but they've played the better lacrosse on the night. To this point in time, I think Brighton can still get back into it and make it a bit of a closer finish, but they need to be really aggressive on the cage in this last period.
And the good thing is, from that 06 team, you've still Paul Marshall and Scotty Dawson running around in this field.
Yeah, correct.
So longevity there, and I'm sure if Paul Marshall could get one, I'm sure he may think about what he does next year, but you never know. And we will let you get back to watching it. We appreciate your time here on LSA TV, Bob. As bang, Jimmy Goodridge.
That really hurts.
Just like that says, I don't think Brighton are coming back. So, Bob, we wish you all the best for...
Tone, I've just got back from the 3/4 time huddle. Mark Mangan there said if we don't score this first goal, we will be wondering which pub we're going to tomorrow morning.
Well, there you go.
Silly Sunday's already on the mind.
So Jimmy Goodridge is just giving them the drinks, has he?
Yeah, well, first round on Jimmy Goodridge.
Yeah, that's it.
And here we go. And this is what we saw the other night. Just starting to get on top.
Oh.
Good pressure, though. They haven't given up.
No.
There's certainly some pressure going on and some willing bodies. And that ball's going to come off Harris. So that'll be a Brighton ball. As the ball just comes back in here from Brigham. So Brighton will need to get the scoreboards on. And he's been able to do this, Jakey. Oh, good tip there from Williams. That was going wide, but he got a big piece of it.
Yeah, good enough. Statement save.
Yeah, and just like Steve Smith last night, only get out off no balls.
Yeah.
That was the edge that Smithy had, but it didn't really cause much damage. So Rosenthal's been good getting in there like that on Phillips, but just hasn't found the cage, number one, and he hasn't really been able to play that game where he brings others in. And Jack Woodford, he's just wanting a monster.
He's been good, Jack, but unfortunately hasn't really dominated at the offensive end where Brighton desperately need him. Pairs up the top here, hands free. Cam Salmon, a good little
Just
step
need to
there.
kick out. Here we go. This is it. Rosenthal, but big save again from Williams.
Yeah.
And the ball is picked up here by one of those 2006 grand final participants, Mr. Scotty Dawson. He's a big man. Jake Rosenthal just gives him a love tap on the way through, and Scotty Dawson won't mind seeing it down the other end here.
The ground ball to be won there. Woodford going in for the body rather than collecting. Burnside easy clear, another shot at it. If they can go to 11-3. Tone?
Yep, 11-3, I reckon.
Bring her in.
Oh, it was a bit high, wasn't it?
No, it was. Fine.
No, that was good. So Burnside down the back here, and are they in party time? You know, another one, and I think Brighton just give it up.
I don't know if Burnside can afford party time.
Oh, Jimmy Goodridge.
Just yet.
I don't know. I'm feeling some party time about to go on. And that's in the back of the cage. Although everyone was excited, Chippy just going about his work. He's put himself in trouble by coming out there. Jimmy Goodridge all over him. And
trying to sneak one in the back door, Jimmy Goodridge. We'll have none of that, said Chippy.
Toby Raymond there.
Exit only.
Just says, right, boys, I've seen enough of this. And Arlen Lim, one of the young players. Liam Hood just gets past a bit easily. He's going to have to watch the foul for the check here. But again, over the past few years, they would have probably thrown that check. Liam Hood there just holds that one and says, well, okay, you've beaten me. I'm not going to give a foul away. I'm not going to give you a man-up opportunity to get back in it. And, you know, they're still pushed him back towards defence, deep with Barker again.
I agree. All that's required, isn't it? So disciplined, this Burnside outfit.
Yes.
And I think that's been the big change from, you know, even last year when you faced them, when they had they were still throwing those fouls. This year they really have. And Ryan's done a great job with them. But you see here, even coming into offense, you know, they're down and there's the ball. And there is an inherent stick. And Perrin just can't pick up the ball, which was an awful pass from Brittam. And nothing on Perrin, but he just didn't, you know, that ball bounced at his feet from about 6 metres away. And it didn't go in the, and I think the Mines have started to just switch off a bit here. And
accustomed to a little bit of red carpet, Lee didn't like it off the deck, did he?
He did not like it off the deck. And Lucas is there. We're going to have a timeout on Burnside just to have a bit of a chat about how that song's going to go at the end of the game.
That's right. Who's driving the bus? Who's sitting where? What are we doing in a minute? Because 15 minutes of complete pain for Brighton coming up.
And Goodrich he came into the game with a hamstring issue. He's just holding it there as he goes to the bench. And to be honest,
was that his hamstring he was holding?
Yep. At 10-3. He's got a right hamstring issue there. Well, I'm thinking it's at the back of his leg.
Okay, I thought it might have been sponsored by Barossa Fine Foods.
Maybe.
But, could have been holding something else.
But if Goodrich has got an issue with his hamstring, sit him off now. You know what? At 10-3, doesn't need to be out there.
He's got 6 months to worry about it, Tone. Keep him out there.
You want him to ping it properly?
Yep.
Oh, it's tough to get off. Grand final, winning. You don't want to get off the field.
You don't want to get off when you're losing, do you?
No, not at all.
So here we go. Good time out there from Ryan, and it's back to 10-3 game here. And given the fact that Brighton have only scored 3 for the game so far, getting 7 unanswered now, that's a pretty tough job with 15 minutes to go.
7 unanswered, that's what we're at the moment?
That's what we need, 7 unanswered.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. What about Burnside? What's their score run here? Must be 8-1, is it?
Yeah.
Burnside, Brighton were up 2-1.
Brighton were up 2-1, and then it went 4-2. And then it went 5-3. So, yeah.
So it's a reversal of last year's game.
Basically. Because Glenelg were out to a 4-1 down. They were 4-1 down and ended up coming home and
12-4.
12-4. So.
Goodrich still out there?
Good to see Goodrich still out there. I wouldn't want him off. But Jimmy just popping the ball down. And Burnside really, you know, you can see here even they're just going about that. Kicks it over here to Cole. Cole's had a couple of cracks already. Good save there from Barker. And
so someone here from Brighton going to take a chance.
Well, someone needs to take something.
Are they going to push it, or they've packed up? They've gone home. They're done.
Well, I think you'll see in the next 2 minutes if Burnside get another one here, it could go out by another 6 goals. I think the defensive pressure. And here we go, Goodrich again. Bang, that's in the back of the net, literally. But Silky Sandow just going about his work. He tried to flick that back onto the... good tiptoe, Hammy's going to be up here. That tests the hamstring out there, Mr. Shiggett.
Twing.
Might have been.
So, here we go. And we are back here as Wells kicks it back to Barker. Barker might go coast to coast here.
That's the sort of inspiration that they need, but have a look at that. Gets to the white line and sees an invisible wall. Australia get another wicket in the cricket if anyone's really interested. But
nice.
Out through the far side.
And here we go, Pridham. Last time he threw the ball to Perham, he shortened the pass that time to about a metre.
Yep.
So Rosenthal on Phillips. Looks up the top, kicks to Brooks. Brooks is, there's a loose ball pushed there. Bang, Brooks. There we go. Brooks gets one back. We're at 10-4. So is there life left in this body that is called Brighton as we speak?
Well, they're a champion club, Tony. You can't disregard them, although it may appear as if Ryan has already in the call. But 10-4. Doug Brooks, another one of their young lads.
Yep, and if anything's going to happen here, I think it's got to start from Woody in the face-off. I need to see a fasty go down. And
so you're backing Woody here to get one?
He needs one.
One against the grain, just to keep the supporters in. And here he is, Mr. Craig Laux himself. He is in the house, one of the old Burnside Bears. As ball comes down, Lewis Dowell, maybe it's going the other way. Good save from Barker again, but
Possession shot. He missed that by 3 feet, didn't he?
Yes, I do plenty of those possession shots.
Goodridge down the back. That hamstring seems to be holding up pretty well.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's okay at 10-4. We'll see how it goes when it tightens up a bit.
So, I don't know. The only thing tightening up at the moment
what do you got, Tony?
will be the beers of Brighton.
The lid's on the beer.
Yep, they'll be tighter. Harder to get off tonight. As we see Chris Nicola just hit the deck down there. And as I said, you get into that fan area and it does get a little bit slippery. Oh, Sandow.
It's very silky.
Sandow looks inside. Oh. Bang, there we go.
No goal.
And no goal. Loves the call.
Geez.
There he goes. Shane Abbott right on it.
Not sure if that was Abbott or Costello, but I'd like to see the replay on that. How can a quick stick off the crease be in the...
I don't know, but he was right on the mark, so we've got to say that he was probably closer.
Replay
on now. A big call, and we see here, steps in. Oh.
Tough call.
Foot on the line. So we've got to go with that double coming here. Yeah. Rosenthal down the other end, misses again.
It's like Steve Smith batting the other night. You can't give him a second chance, can you?
Cannot give him a second chance. And right there, is that the bit that... but then again...
Scotty Dawson
just losing the ball, and that's going to go to Brighton again. So Brighton, some things just starting to go their way at the moment. But you know what? They're still 6 down, and they really need to come back. But Brighton have the ability.
They can.
Brighton have the ability. Oh, not like that, they don't.
Inherent passes.
Inherent passes that don't make targets.
No, still got 10.5 minutes.
You'll never reach your targets if you can't hit the targets.
Brighton a little bit going
their way.
Steps
up. Bang! Woodford says not done yet. Good work there from Perham. We're back to a 10-5 game. Still got 10.5 minutes to go.
Woodford drifting off the crease.
And now back to the centre. And can Woody get one of those fast man breaks that we see a lot with
Bit
Woodford
of momentum now.
Coming off that.
Timeout required.
So ball back in the centre, ball to be won, big ball, and here he is. He's been huge tonight, Lucas Bastarash. Very, very good for the Burnside Bears, and his pace is quite surprising too.
Yeah, he's very quick.
Very good. Good stick, good control, leadership out there as well offensively. He's been very good for these guys.
So ball up the top, and Sandow just says, let's take some time out of the game. You know what, if you're going to come up and pressure me, young man, I'm used to... short sticks going hard at that.
9 to go, Tone. 9 minutes to go on the clock.
And Burnside still out to a 5-goal lead. And if they could wipe 2 or 3 minutes off and even get that stalk or another goal, there's going to be a crease infringement here.
Yes.
Another crease infringement. That's almost like deja vu from the last one. If they can come down and score here and put it to 4 goals.
Huge pressure on the play school clock, won't it?
It will be huge pressure. And Goodridge, we know he's got to. Oh, that's the 3rd time tonight that pressure's been given right in front of us. And you would have thought that
just not good enough.
That Brighton would have learnt by that. That's the 3rd time that they've tried to take on a player on this outer side, and you can probably still see the marks on the ground from the other 2, where they've just been pushed out of bounds, and it turns over and. You know what? But are the forwards presenting to that? Are these guys carrying down the field, looking up and looking for these guys presenting? I mean,
that's a good question. However, one-on-one coming through the midfield, Ryan, you'd expect the ball carrier to get the job done most occasions.
Well, if you're going to go, you got to go. Oh, bang!
Bang! And that could just about do it. That is one back for Burnside and Lucas. Bastarash.
Bastarash throws a little dagger
Lucas
down
Bastarash with that one. He has nailed another. And how many's he got for the night there, Ryan?
We got 1, 2.
2. So he gets his 2nd for the night. And that's just, all I'm hearing is knock, 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 knock.
3 times.
She's at the door.
She's knocking on the door. So Burnside and the bench over there are certainly up and about. They were pretty happy with that shot from Bastarash. And
everybody except for Mr. Leash. He's not enjoying it so much.
Well, he knows that he's got them there. And you know, unfortunately, there's a double illegal procedure. Reface.
Start again.
So Kippo all over that one.
Huge technical call. The umpires are still a feature of the game here.
Still a factor.
Kiplock's not allowing that one to get past anybody.
And, yeah, so Burnside.
6 goals.
6 minutes, 6 goals.
Oof.
Jack Woodford needs a fasty here.
That's a goal a minute.
If that's to happen. Oh, and there we go. Lewis Dow kicks it out to Chris Nicola. And Nicola just kicks it back, and the boys can keep it down there as much as they like, to be honest. They could literally just keep it down there. But not to be.
Bastarash again.
Bastarash. Has he been everywhere tonight?
He's been everywhere, man.
So as we come to the last 6 minutes, thoughts for the MVP of this game, Mr. Ryan Gaspari.
I like the hair on Bastarash tonight, mate.
You like the hair?
I like the hair.
Bang,
Cole.
and there we go. Cole gets in one, and Cole says rubbing is racing, just
Rubbing
like
is
they
racing.
did in one of those other Days of Thunder videos.
Days of Thunder.
Thanks for the spot, Mr. Leach. Remember me.
That's one for you.
Yeah.
That's one for you, Cam. But as the comes around, and I don't know, Shix, do you want to start her up? Because there's some singing starting to go on right now.
Yeah, no, I've just put it to bed at the moment in the back corner here.
Still
I can
back corner. Wake her up.
Razz her up a little.
So
7.
there we go.
Huge ask from here, Brighton.
12-5 here, and that was a huge centre there from Dow, and that has just about put it to bed here. And at this stage, it looks like, as Doug Brooks goes about his work, just doesn't know where the ball is, and that's that pressure coming behind. They're going to watch that offside, but there it is. And are Brighton going to get a couple of slough goals here, because Burnside sit here at 12-5 and think, well, here we go, and there's one of them.
There it is.
Nat Rowe hasn't seen much game time tonight, to be honest, Nat Rowe.
Yep.
Straight into a backside, and that's a slough one, because to be honest, I think the Bears' defence have gone well. I think we've pretty well done our job. We're 4 minutes or just under 5 minutes to go. And 12-6, and you just can't see Brighton getting back.
Can't see it.
Cannot see it. Although sport is the greatest reality show in history, you just never know.
I know the truth.
You don't know
Legal
until you
procedure,
know.
but that one hurts. And James Mullins with the ball. Bastarash says, give me the ball, because I've just about had it on a string tonight. Goodrich, they're just going to play some patient ball here. I don't even think they're going to attack the cage. There's probably a stall call coming, to be honest. I would think.
Bit premature.
I think there's a stall call coming, because I don't think Burnside will even attempt to attack the cage here.
That's almost like the weatherman saying in the middle of May there's rain coming.
I don't see it happening. I see the referees tapping their hat here.
Yep, that's the signal.
To tell them that the stall is on. And although Sandow's out the top here, he might like what he has. He might say, oh, you know what, I want another one. And against this young lad, you know what, I'm an Australian player, and Silky will go about his work. But yeah, good double there from Woodford. But that's left 2 out the back. No one's recovered. Looks inside. Bang, Cole.
Cole from Mullins.
Days of Thunder again. Cole Trickle. I loved it. I was waiting for it.
Very good.
I was trying to reel that in before, but Shix is all
taking
over
the
it.
words out of your mouth.
I mean, he has his own comedic pause, Mr. Schicker.
Yeah, it's all about delivery.
It's all delivery. And I can tell you right now, that cup is going to be delivered back to Miller Reserve for the first time since 1952.
They won't. What do you mean first time since 52? What did they do? Make it there, did they?
I reckon they must have, because they forged it there, and it's never been back since. Oh, Arlen Lim picks the ball up. Adam Phillips just says, all right, I'll let you run by me.
Yep.
No damage done there. So, yes, that silverware has never found its way to a shelf at the Burnside Lacrosse Club. And this will be their first ever State League Premiership win.
Yeah, they won't know what to do tonight.
There's Dougie Brooks and some of those.
They'll be able to fill the club rooms down there.
Yes, definitely.
Well, given the fact that I think James Mullins is on a plane tomorrow, and I'm not sure about
6 a.m. flight.
As Perham comes in. So, and it's going to be a huge 50th anniversary for the Chadstone trip this year as well.
Joshy Harris is off to the races.
And Joshy Harris, down he goes. And wouldn't he love one?
He would. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah. So where are we going for our player of the game? That's what I need to know.
Let's look no further.
I'm thinking the man with the ball has probably been out the best player on the field. And to be honest, in that in that semi-final, he probably was very close to it as well. Obviously, Brady Williams and Cam Leach played a great game, but
Liam Hood was good early with 2 early ones.
yeah, he was good, but he's sort of on the back end of the hard work by everyone else.
Yeah, he went to bed early, didn't he?
And this guy he keeps working. Look at him. He's already got. I mean, he's running Lock in circles at the moment.
Oh, C3PO.
So he's going to take him up the top. Paul Marshall. Yeah, look, it's a great reward for some of these players too. I mean, Paul Marshall been playing lacrosse a long time. And, as Chris Nicola, he's going to, he just pulls out. And that is the discipline of this side, isn't it? And there we go, the stall's on.
Under a minute.
Paul Marshall out the back.
13-6. Come on, boys.
So clock about to get on the field here.
It's party time.
And looks inside. Jimmy Goodrich, and you can hear the cheers of the Bears supporters here. They know the cup is coming back to Burnside for the first time ever.
They've come out
But
of
the pressure is to be there. It just kicks it up the top.
A little gun shy early.
And if
Burnside supporters.
If this guy holds the ball, he probably can take it home with him, to be honest.
Game together.
Faster Ash. So clock is on the field. We are going to see history in the making here at Cooper Stadium. Joshy, Adam Phillips down the back line here. Cam Semler.
My bet is Marshall's going to end up with it, isn't he?
Marshall might end up with it. As comes out.
Goodrich.
As the clock is on. And there we go. Burnside Bears. First ever premiership in the Living Choice State League. And aren't they excited? Well deserved for Burnside Bears. Had an outstanding year.
Look at them all.
Get around them. And they have never, ever celebrated like this before in the State League.
Lewis Dow celebrating like it's taken him 10 years to get there.
So congratulations to the Burnside Bears.
Marshall can hardly understand what's going on. Look at him. Look how happy he is.
And congratulations to the coaches. And, here he comes now. He's done a great job down at Burnside, the coach. And well deserved down there.
Very well deserved, Tony. That's a good outfit there, mate. They've deserved it all year. Played well.
And congratulations, as I said, to those older guys. I mean, I played with a couple of these guys in the 06 grand final. And, to still be here 13 years later and to actually get one, congratulations to Scotty Dawson and Paul Marshall. Worked extremely hard to get that happen. But, there's still a little bit of Burnside Bears in me after 17 years. And congratulations. I mean, the song they will sing now, I actually wrote.
I think, you could have written anything, mate. They haven't heard anything. They haven't had a chance to sing it. So
again, they're about to sing it, and I'm sure they'll sing it loud and proud. And I think Tristan Hood normally seems to take the song these days.
The goalkeeper, Brett. What a story there,
Oh,
Ryan.
Yes. Fairy tale story.
Almost, isn't it? Or it
Well,
is. Told at Glenelg, there's probably no spot for him. Tried his hand at Brighton. Again, they recruited from elsewhere. They went above him. Went to Sturt for a little bit. Sam Kilford came across from North Adelaide.
Yep.
So found himself again without a spot. Went to Burnside. There was talks this year with an American import goalkeeper.
Yes.
But then they went with an Adelaide University goalkeeper. Again, the talks were maybe Brett misses out again.
Brady said, this is my spot.
He's been outstanding the last
Outstanding.
month
He's
and
been really,
and he's proved that he stood up.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And now he is a premiership player, State League premiership player.
Yep.
And
Lewis Dow's another one come across from
uni.
his time at Adelaide Uni.
And now a premiership
player.
And Chicks, you've been involved in this in the last couple of years. You know what these boys are feeling at the moment. It's a fantastic feeling, isn't it, these grand finals?
Oh, it really is. For these guys to not only win their first, but to have a handle on the club's first is a euphoric feeling.
And as you see a couple of the old crew coming out here. You've got Grant Semler, Cam Semler's dad. Tinger's out there. Big Kim Martin, obviously. Nick Muxlow, who coached him a couple of years ago and obviously was a State League player for many, many years with Burnside. And, it's those guys too that have given so much over the last 20 years. This really will resonate well with them too.
Yeah, it's great for him. It really is. It really is.
So as the boys just wrap it up here, they're starting to shaking hands, and I mean, there's a bit of a party at Miller Reserve tonight, I'd say.
Yep, they'll be spilling out of those club rooms, I reckon, tonight, Shika.
I reckon there'd be enough room for them all.
So as the trophies sort of head out onto the ground and the premiership medals, very soon we will present these medals and the trophies to the Burnside Bears. And Michael Hood, I don't think he's going to let it go, is he? LSA president, Michael Hood?
I don't think so.
He's going to hold that, and he's saying, I'm not giving it up. So, again, a long-serving member of Burnside Lacrosse Club.
Tony, did we pick a player of the game, mate? LSA TV player of the game?
I'm going Lucas Bastarash as my LSA player of the night. That's where I'd go.
That's one yes.
That's one yes.
He's got a yes from me.
Craig Schicker?
Hard to go against him. Jack Woodford was pretty dominant in his position, but you're right, the American.
Lucas Bastarash.
He was good at times.
That's three yeses.
3 yeses.
3 yeses.
So just like in Dancing with the Stars, not Dancing with the Stars, what's the other one? Australia's Got Talent. Yep.
Not a golden buzzer, but
no golden buzzers.
He's through to the finals.
But he's through to the finals, and as Burnside and Brighton make their ways over to this side of the field, and we will hear the wonderful voice of Mr. Ben Hook about to present the teams.
Very, very good outfit.
Player of the grand finals awarded the President's Medal. To announce the winner of the President's Medal, please welcome the President, Michael Hood.
Thank you, everybody, and congratulations to the Burnside team. President's Medal. I didn't have anything to do with this, it was chosen independently, but the President's Medal for 2019 Euros, number 21 was Lucas.
Congratulations.
Yeah, boy! Yes, father and son. Beautiful. Let me speak back, Michael.
Congratulations to Lucas Bastarash, the President's Medalist. Now we'll meet the Burnside team to receive their premiership medals from Graham Hobbs from Living Choice. Firstly, number 2, Adam Phillips. Number 5, Scott Dawson. Number 6, Chris Nicola. Number 7, Paul Marshall. Number 8, Kieran Sandow. Number 9, James Mullins. Number 10, James Goodridge. Number 16, Josh Harris. Number 19, Cole Robillard. Number 21, Lucas Bastarash. Number 23, Liam Hood. Number 30, Steve Lambert. Number 31, Lou Dow. Number 77, what a game in goals, Brett Williams. Number 87, Raph O'Connor. Number 25 and captain of the Bears, Cam Semler. And Burnside coach, Ryan Taggart. Cam, I'll invite you just to come back and say a couple of words. Cam Semler, the captain of the Burnside team.
Cheers. Good on you. First and foremost, we'd like to thank Lacrosse LSA for putting on such a great event. It's been amazing the last couple of years that have been Melbourne. I'd like to thank the officials, they've been really good all year and can't do it without you. To Brighton, it makes it all the more special being a championship team like yourselves. You've been up the top for so long, so we really feel like we've earned this. You pushed us hard all year throughout all that game, so thank you guys. Really like to thank Ryan, our head coach, since coming. It's been such a humongous change for us here, and we're so thankful that we've got him. We're never letting him go. Of course, 67 years is a long time to wait, but it was worth it for us.
Ryan and Cam, I'll invite you now to lift the premiership seal that we handed to you by Graham Hobbs from Living Choice.
There we go, boys!
Well done to Brighton. Congratulations once again to Burnside. Thank you for joining us here at Norwood Oval tonight. We hope to see you next week for the Living Choice State League Women's Grand Final. What a great game that's going to be between Brighton and Glenelg. All the best. Enjoy the night.
And there we go, the celebrations as the victorious premiership team of the Burnside Bears get their premiership medals. As I said, commiserations to the Brighton Lacrosse Club. Had a great season this year, and there was certainly 3 teams up the top this year which battled really hard for this premiership. But Burnside coming out winners in their first ever State League premiership, brought to you by a Living Choice, and you can see all the Burnside supporters, how much it means to them down there at the moment. And a reward for the MVP there. We were all over it, boys.
All over it. 3 votes. Got him across the line, I reckon.
Yeah, well, he was damaging. Was in control through the midfield, wasn't he?
He was.
Absolutely.
He was really in control, so. Yep.
So here we go, and we're not finished at Cooper Stadium, though, yet, because next week we have all the grand finals for the rest of the divisions, including the Women's State League Grand Final between Brighton and Glenelg. And we will be bringing you as many games as we possibly can with that feed next week. So we hope to get as much as lacrosse to you as possible. Obviously, Ryan Gaspara, you won't be here. You will be heading over to the world. So we wish you all the best for your endeavour in becoming an all-star world player.
Thanks, Tony. Looking forward to it. Off tomorrow, mate.
Off tomorrow. So safe flight. May you have a wonderful trip over there, and we look forward to watching every game that you play. I certainly do. I love watching you play. And Mr. Craig Schicker, thank you very much. We might even be back next week on the comms again, potentially.
I'll be here in some capacity.
Whether
I'm calling it or watching it. Yeah, it should be good, and you're right. Good luck, Ryan, with the Aussie indoors. We look forward to seeing some good lacrosse there. Hopefully that's all nice and easy for us to stream. We love watching a bit of lacrosse.
Thanks, Shix.
Throughout.
And yeah, from us up here, I'm just going to shoot downstairs and go and interview a few of these boys down there. So really appreciate Ryan Gaspari and Craig Schicker. And obviously on the camera down there, the man himself still going. He might be able to pick me up while I'm down there. Mr. Scotty Gill in there too, and Mr. Marty Baker. Fantastic. Sorry, Christian, down there doing a great job. And well, I'm going to go down and just try and get a few interviews. I'm sure there'll be a few happy people down there with the Burnside Bears. So give me a couple of seconds. I'll race down. But, boys, thank you very much for this evening, and look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
Good call, Tone.
Thanks, Tone.
Good call. Yeah, we can keep it going. We can keep it going. We can keep Tony on his toes here, who he's going to go talk to. Ryan, so where does that leave Brighton for next year?
Oh, well, I think a few of the older guys are going to make a few decisions there if they're going to play on, or if they peaked and they're on their way down. You know, they've got a lot of young guys coming up.
Yep.
So, I mean, it does look promising. I just don't know if the next year is going to be the one.
We've got a lot of guys who are, well, not a lot of guys in that 24 to 28, 29 bracket. There's a few guys in the 19, 20.
That's right. Just a bit young.
And then there's at the other end, we've got Evan Locke, we've got
Lee Perham.
We have Toby Raymond.
Yeah, are those guys going to keep playing on? Perham's had a child this year.
Another one in the making, are you suggesting? Or
Possible. I think if they had a win tonight, might have been on the cards.
Yeah, yep. Burnside, however, they've got a reasonably young squad, other than I should say their imports.
Yeah, their core group. I think this group's they're pretty tight-nipped, and I reckon they're going to continue this for the next few years coming.
Okay. So can we look at another team outside of I guess Glenelg, who lost the prelim, outside of the top three for next season? We've got another team floating around, knocking on doors. Coming through.
You know what? I don't think there's a dark horse yet. And like most years, it depends on the imports the teams get.
Sure.
Very disappointed with our guys losing our imports, how we did. But I think if we kept those imports, mate, we might have even hit that fourth spot.
Yeah.
We're going to go up here. We got stand up there. Right. I'm joined by the Victoria Cam Semler. Mate, obviously played a lot of lacrosse with you. How exciting is that?
It was huge. Containing the emotion in the last 30 seconds was tough. It was a really big game. We've been sort of on track. We know we've been on track in our minds, but to get it in person's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, look, I was just talking to Craig Schicker up there. Obviously, you know, he's felt this. I still feel it, but you know what? I was up there, and obviously you take the bear out of the boy. You can't take the boy out of the bear.
That's right.
And look, it's a fantastic. You know, the boys just.
Pretty much the key throughout all of our training. If you could define our season with one, coach would choose the word discipline. Try to get our culture right, get discipline right, and it's led to a premiership that we've been working for a long time for.
Well, look, over the years, there's been a lot of people come through the Burnside Lacrosse Club, you know, 7 years, I believe. There's a lot of people who have been out Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Saturdays. So we can see around here at the moment the amount of support you've got. It's one for the ages.
Well, it's incredible. It's incredible. Thursday night we had 25 support sidelines watching us train. it was absolutely amazing. And to hear the stories from them, the grand finals they played in, the seasons they played in, just made this all the more special that we could bring one home for the Bears. Not just for us, but for all of them.
Yeah, as I said, a lot of people have gone, by the way, but mate, congratulations. I really do mean that. I'm very excited for you.
Thank you so much.
You know what, looking forward to getting around and speaking to a few more
Yeah,
people
mate,
here, shall we?
Right
There we go. Let's find Mr. Paul Marshall, shall we? Where's Paul Marshall? Let's get actually before he disappears over to the Worlds, Mr. Kieran Silky Sandow. Mate, how does that feel?
Oh, bloody good. I've felt better in my life.
Yep, and a couple of sneaky little goals there, mate.
Oh yeah, wouldn't be my game if I didn't get a couple of sneaky ones.
Wouldn't be. And obviously, you were just saying to Cam there, the boys this year have been outstanding. The discipline that Ryan's put through the team, really evident in that last little bit. And, even when you had the ability to score, you kept the ball out. And really good to see.
Yeah, well, it's what Ryan's been pushing us to do is just team game. It's not about us. It's about teamwork, and that'll open us up for the shots. And that's... you saw so many times we dodge, we'll be wide open, pass, someone else is even better. That's a goal.
And another Ryan up in the stands there, Mr. Gaspari. He was very, very happy with your...
Yeah, baby!
There we go, one of the stalwarts, Mr. Scotty Brooks down here. Spent a lot of time at the Burnside Lacrosse Club. And I was trying to look for good luck for the Worlds, brother.
Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. Where's Mr. Paul Marshall? He's been here as long as...
Have you talked to Mullins? He's
we have.
flight.
Where's Mr. Mullins? Mr. Marshall. Hello. Congratulations. Mate, I played with you in 2006 in one of these. It is now 2019. How does it feel to get the first State League Premiership?
It was pretty good, I must say. Pretty bloody awesome.
Now, there's a lot of hamstrings gone by the wayside, a lot of hard work,
Grinds, quads.
a lot of grinds, quads, knees and toes. But that must top it off, eh?
Bloody oath. Amazing feeling. It's taken, was it 69 years?
67 years.
67.
Not that I'm counting.
Oh, it's been a while, so it's awesome for bloody everyone, really.
And obviously, Lucas Bastiari, mate, outstanding in that game. I'm going to catch up with him hopefully soon.
Yeah, I just saw him. Yeah, great player, good-looking man, lovely locks.
And shout out to Cam Leach as well. Obviously missed out on this side after having an exceptional first semi.
Yeah, bloody oath. He killed it.
Really disappointed. So big shout out to you, Cam. I know it was good. There's Lucas over there. So let's go and here we go. We're going to come over this way. Here we go, Lucas, MVP of the match, mate. Congratulations. How does that feel?
It feels great. Nothing prouder than to make this club, champions first time. Thank you to the Burnside community for everything they've done for us, and all I can say is thank you.
Yeah, amazing feeling and really good. The crowd got right behind. At times Brighton pushed. You guys just played really disciplined lacrosse and got the job done. And your motors, mate, and the legs. How quick are you?
It's a team effort, in and out every day. That's what we preach, being resilient. Can't ask for a better group of guys, staff. So just happy to be here and happy to be winners.
Well, mate, I can tell you I played 17 years with the Burnside Bears. I'm still feeling this one a little bit, mate. So congratulations. Enjoy the night. Enjoy the MVP. And let's see if we can get in here and get a couple of the other boys. Here we go. Two boys. One Mr. Craig Laux. I'm going to ask Lauxie first. Lauxie spent as many years as I did running around. Lauxie, how did that feel as a supporter and someone who's given so much to this club?
Oh, it feels amazing. It's kind of bizarre. There's like generations of players here, and all riding on the game with these amazing team. And I was just saying to Adam, I'm so proud of the player he's become, and it's just awesome. It's kind of overwhelming. It's overwhelming for these guys because they've they've got literally generations riding on their shoulders, so it's very cool.
You and I both spent a lot of time busting our nut for this club, and while you know, we don't get to play it anymore, it means a lot, doesn't it?
It sure does. It sure does.
And obviously with Shockers earlier, so he would have been loving this.
Well, it's pretty special to spend that with him as well, and for him to be able to witness this, obviously before he passes, which unfortunately is going to be sooner rather than later. It was pretty awesome. I think very fitting as well, you know, because he put a lot into this club.
Look, Shocks was one of those guys in the past that, you know, he was the first one out in the training track, the last one in, did a lot of work. So, Shocks, big shout out to you, mate. I know we're probably still coming through live here, but and then the new breed, Mr. Adam Phillips, the Hoover Phillips. Mate, how does that feel?
Pretty surreal. We've been over years, like me, Cam, Kiz, Chuck, we've been playing together for years, and it's beyond our sort of wildest dreams. Here
we go, boys.
And we're back, Shicks.
We're back. It's a pretty euphoric feeling down there for most of the Burnside guys, as you can imagine, Ryan.
Oh, mate.
Something that everyone plays for, I suppose, and 69 years, or 67 years.
67 years, I mean.
A little bit carried away, the 69 bit, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right, mate. Bit early in the night for that. But
no, haven't started yet.
Like, the players, they feel unreal, but I think the supporters, the people just waiting for it to happen. I'd feel the same if it happened down with our boys at North Adelaide. Just years and years of waiting for a premiership. I mean, I think I've been going 19 years now and played in the finals once, but that was for ETP when we dropped down to the reserve grade. But, the feeling would be amazing. All those supporters, all those years waiting for it to happen, it's finally happened, and I don't think they still can believe it just yet.
Yep. So it's unfortunate for those Aussie box guys who are flying out tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think James Mullen's on the 6 a.m. flight, so he's already said he's probably still going to be awake and try and get some sleep on the plane, because I think there's going to be a... Yeah.
Poorly time.
No. So I was one of the smarter ones that's got the afternoon flight, have a bit of a sleep in the morning.
There'll be a whole heap of guys not so much involved with Burnside in recent years, heading down there tonight, reconnecting, re-engaging. Hopefully Burnside can get those guys involved.
That's right. I think this is it's just turned over, and I think it's Burnside's time now. I think. But as I was saying before, I still think it's a 3-horse race, mate. When it comes to next year, I can't see a dark horse coming just yet.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. Yeah, Glenelg were off the pace in the last probably 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks. They didn't play good lacrosse coming into the finals. Brighton were good enough to knock over them last week. Got themselves another chance here tonight. Most successful club in South Australia. 29 premierships, I think, or 26 premierships, whatever it may be. Burnside, their first tonight. And you're probably right. I agree, Ryan. With a good coach, if they can keep their core together, which I think they will, having an American coach should mean they get the inside on some good recruits. You get some good recruits, you're halfway there to backing up your previous year's output. So
yeah, you're right, Craig. Yeah, no dramas.
I agree. Well, that's it. I think we've lost Tony Watts tonight. He's down there interviewing anybody and anyone wearing maroon. As a matter of fact, I think he's put the Burnside beanie back on himself.
He's jumped ship, he's done.
And
but I think we're all done here at the Cooper Stadium.
We're getting the wind-up here. We're getting the wind-up.
Yeah, back next week with the State League Women's games. So tune in next week for all those games. Shicks, thanks for having us, mate.
Thank you for having me. And thank you, sports fans, for tuning in. I think that's it. We're getting the wind-up. Marty Baker, Lacrosse SA TV. Sayonara for another Men's State League Grand Final. See you again.